Welcome everyone to episode 7 of Ultimate Gamer Podcast, or UGP. I have with me Kevin, who you also know him as I Am 16-Bit here on YouTube.
Hey everyone.
So, we're going to talk about PAX, we're going to talk about some mods that finally comes out. We're also going to talk about a little bit more in-depth into Nintendo Power. I Am 16-Bit, or Kevin, has been a very long time subscriber, and he wants to definitely put in there his thoughts and views upon what the news and why he thinks it fails and what they can do to fix this.
Well, like I said before, I've been a long-time subscriber, actually. I started my subscription like back in 2004, like late that year. And I had that subscription up until, I think, late 2008. Because at that time, due to financial problems, I had to cancel the subscription. But it's kind of ironic that they now cancel it because I renewed my subscription earlier this year.
That sucks.
So, yeah. It really does suck.
Have you received any reimbursement yet?
No, I haven't. Because the last issue doesn't come out till December.
So you're still good till December?
Yeah.
When did you subscribe?
May.
So you're going to be shorted some issues.
Yeah.
So, wow. So what do you think, what are your thoughts and feelings on everything?
Well, I mean, it's sad that, the oldest video game magazine to ever survive, go on, it's finally ending. I mean, it's a real shame because, this is a magazine that was still around when the NES was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
This is a magazine that has been around for all 5 Nintendo systems, possibly even 6, since it's coming out in December.
That's true.
It's really going to be a shame, especially since, like I said, I'm a long-time subscriber of this. Spending, I remember, waiting for the new issue, reading all the stuff, getting excited about it, So,
yeah, I see with you have the E3 2004 issue.
This is the first issue I ever got. I didn't actually start off with a subscription. I bought this. This is volume 182, August 2004. This is the E3 issue. And you remember this.
Yeah, of course
I brought this on summer camp, remember?
Yep.
And it was just so awesome looking at this because, this is the first time we ever saw the DS.
Which it looked hideous.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't that good. Look it up. If you haven't seen the original design of the DS, definitely look it up because it's like... Ugh.
That was one of the single reasons why I hated the DS at first, but once I saw it remodeled, I was like, oh, it looks better.
Yeah, but it was cool seeing seeing Mario 64 on a handheld.
Of course.
That was mind-blowing because, this was a game that was less than 10 years old at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, that was mind-blowing. Seeing Mario Kart DS, Animal Crossing DS, Metroid Prime Hunters.
Mm-hmm. And now, mind you guys, this is before E3 was streamed online. Before, where online web publications became the norm. So the only way we were able to find out about half this stuff is through magazines, such as Nintendo Power.
You had IGN was still around at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Game Trailers was around during the time. Granted, it was shitty back then.
Of course.
But, there was video game news websites, but, there was the major stuff was still publication.
Exactly.
So, I'm just looking at this, and I'm looking at, for example, they have what eventually became Battalion Wars, and it's under its original title, Advanced Wars. Under Fire. Yeah. And, it's a shame that we're going to lose it.
Now, what do you think they should do?
Well, keep in mind, Future US is about to drop them. It's just Future US is dropping them. So there is still a hope that Nintendo could pick it up.
They should.
I'm hoping they do it. And, knowing Nintendo and what they're going to do with the Miiverse, I'm hoping they'll do that with Nintendo Power.
Kind of integrate it?
Yeah, kind of integrate, where you can still have your publication, you can still have your, physical copy, but you can get it on PC, you can get it on tablets, your iPhone, You know,
They
hell,
have
even
to.
even the Wii U, that would be awesome if you had like a subscription widget.
Yeah, I mean, they need to have something to keep it going.
Yeah.
But I don't think a piece of paper is necessarily the way to go. I think they need to completely get rid of it because it's a waste of money. You know, if you're a publisher and, you know, to the cost of publishing a piece of paper versus publishing online is just substantially different.
Well, I mean, I understand. I mean, a lot of papers have been able to.
Because what you read in, let's say, your next issue of Nintendo Power, half the stuff that you find in there is already available online right now. So what's the point? You know?
And, you know, that was another problem with Nintendo Power, was Future US, their website for Nintendo Power sucked.
Of course.
There was no forum, there was no community. Plus, you couldn't read the articles on there. You couldn't read the reviews. It was a mess. It was a complete mess. And it was like they could have... You know, if they had integrated, if they had a forum, if they had a community, if they had... You know, if you could read the articles on there, if it was a more in-depth website, you know, we wouldn't have this bad news coming. But,
that's true.
You know, Future US, being the assholes that they are, decide, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to integrate everything. We're not going to make it available on digital formats. So
exactly, and that's entirely their fault.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but
it does. It really does suck. So.
But yeah, I do remember reading a few issues. I remember the issue on Nintendo Wi-Fi when that was first coming out and stuff. You know, but yeah. Is that all you have to say about it?
Pretty much. I mean,
all right. Still, my stance from last week, same deal. I really think they did it to themselves, and yeah.
But like I said, I hope Nintendo continues it. I hope Nintendo starts publishing it themselves, because the reason why they outsourced it to Future US in the first place was because of money issues. I don't think a lot of people realize this, but Nintendo in like the early 2000s, like the first 5 years of the new millennium, they weren't really doing that well.
Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo, at one point, Nintendo was on the verge of bankruptcy.
I remember that.
That's why the Wii wasn't this HD powerhouse.
Because they couldn't afford it.
They couldn't afford it because they were about to go bankrupt.
That's why Rare is a Microsoft property.
Exactly. That's why Nintendo sold Rare, was because they couldn't afford the studio anymore. You know.
Which, granted, like that Rare has seen better days since they were sold.
Though I did hear a rumor that Nintendo's trying to buy them back. But it's just a rumor, so
I hope they do, because honestly, I think that they were far better at making Nintendo games than anything else. You know, but yeah, that's why Nintendo Power was eventually outsourced, because they couldn't afford it. But now look at them now; they're doing so much better. They can afford to make take higher risks.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, but right now, Sony is what Nintendo was.
Oh, pretty much.
You know, basically, you listened to my episode last week, right?
Yeah.
What did you have to think about the Sony stuff? Was it spot on?
Oh, yeah. Definitely spot on.
You want to add anything to it?
Well, you know, I think they did... you see, Sony... How do I describe this? You know, Sony has something that I like to call Sega syndrome. Sega syndrome is when a company gets so big, and video game wise, they get so big, they get so... they get to the point where like everyone has their console, everyone loves their consoles and everything like that, that they get so cocky about it, and they start faltering. They start releasing bomb after bomb after bomb. And it's named after Sega because that's exactly what happened. I mean, in 1992, Sega became so popular. I mean, they had 60% of the market. They actually beat Nintendo in 1992, but they got cocky, decided to release the Sega CD, and instead of focusing on the good games, they started focusing on the shitty FMV games. Then they released the 32X, an overpriced 32-bit add-on for a console that was on its way out. Then they released the Sega Saturn, which, while a good system, was a pain in the ass to develop. Plus, it didn't really...
Overpriced.
It was extremely overpriced. And I think it's like Sega released it like a few months earlier than it was supposed to be.
They pulled a dick move.
They surprised developers by releasing it like in like around the same time as E3.
Yeah, I believe it was released. Wasn't it released the same day?
Yeah.
As the announcement?
Yeah.
And I know people were really pissed about that.
Especially developers, because they were still in the middle of their launch titles.
Exactly.
You know, and so Sega they kept on faltering that because they got so cocky, they got so full of themselves, and right now Sony is in that position.
Granted, they're not making the exact same.
Oh no!
Mistakes.
I mean, I don't think they've made a 32X yet.
No, they didn't.
Granted, they made a Sega Nomad called the PSP Go.
Yeah, well, that was a very
or
dumb
it should
decision.
be the Vita. No, that's being too mean.
No, that was not that. I mean, the Go served absolutely no purpose.
Yeah.
It really was stupid. But what I think is that with Sony is that they're focusing so much on hardware, they just don't realize it. And you heard the Studio Liverpool is gone.
Oh,
you know, they've axed 3 developing studios since the Vita was launched.
And how much do you bet Eat Sleep plays next?
I think so.
Especially since not Tim Schafer,
David Jaffe.
David Jaffe. I always got them confused. Don't ask why.
Their names are completely different.
I don't, because they look similar. Actually.
Okay.
To me, they look similar. Okay.
Yeah, it just.
But anyway,
I mean, do you see a future where PlayStation is no more?
Yeah, I do see it. I see, because I mean, think about it. How much money did Sony lose last year?
A lot.
$6 billion.
As a corporation worldwide, I mean, that corporation wide, they lost a lot of money.
And you Sony fanboys, don't give me this bullshit argument that, oh, well, that was just the Sony corporate. That was just company. That wasn't Sony Computer Entertainment America. Okay, if the corporation loses a lot of money, so does the branch.
Exactly.
Okay?
It's you ever heard of the
it's
term
fanboy logic?
No, have you ever heard of the term parent company?
Yeah.
If the parent company is fucked up, so is the child. Look at it this way: you live with your parents, right? Your parents go, lose all their money. Guess what? You're out of money too.
Exactly.
It amazes me. They have to give all these excuses. It's just, look, the point of the matter is, the PlayStation 3 really, a lot of people love certain IPs that came out during the PlayStation 3. For me, I didn't like any of them. There wasn't a single one out there that can legitimately say was better than any IP that was released in the PS2 era.
Oh, no. Yeah, I agree with you on that, but there's only one IP, one brand new IP Sony came out with that I actually liked.
What was that?
Infamous. I liked the first Infamous, but not the sequel. I didn't really like it. Didn't really care for it.
Okay, I'll give you that one. But you know what? Here's one of the tests that I can put out there.
Yeah.
To say if an IP was actually, magical or not. It took for you to say Infamous for me to remember what the fuck it was.
Really?
Exactly. So here's the test, right? Can anyone out there sincerely say that they've had an experience that will travel forever in their life from a PlayStation 3 game over a PlayStation 2 game?
That's actually a very good question.
People give Nintendo a lot of shit. I can remember my life through Nintendo games than any Sony game. I remember what I was doing when I first played Zelda Ocarina of Time. You have emotions attached to the game that you can't have with today's games. Today's games aren't as memorable. I mean, granted, you have BioShock. You have some games like that where they come very, very close. But it just seems like the originality, the magic of games is gone.
Now, I can do it with the PS1.
Of course.
I mean, I can, right now I'm closing my eyes and I can picture myself in my living room sitting in front of my television. PS1's right over here. TV's right over here, and I'm playing Spyro 2.
And you can remember...
I can remember it. I can remember Dad walking through the back door. Everything.
Yeah, and I mean...
I just, like...
But it's one of those things that if you were to go back and play that game again, it brings back memories. Yeah. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
I have none of that attachment at all for any of these games.
Yeah.
To me, there's nothing that... I mean, you look at a culture of... I mean, you do have a lot of people who like to dress up as characters of certain games and stuff like that. But it just seems that people aren't as attached to today's games as they were back in the day. You know, I mean, it is, you know, sad of what video games have become.
Especially Sony IPs. I mean, Sony IPs used to be freaking awesome.
Look, the problem with Sony is they've never, ever had a mascot.
They almost had one with the PS1. I mean, they had Crash, they had Spyro.
Mm-hmm.
But as by the PS2, they completely swapped them with Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, we never actually... I know that there were Crash Bandicoot games released on the PS2, but none of them were ever as good as those
They were multi-plats at that point.
Yeah, at that point, like... Because, if you remember, they were actually... Naughty Dog was actually on Vivendi. It was actually was a company owned by Vivendi.
Uh-huh.
And then eventually Sony bought Naughty Dog from Vivendi. But I don't get is why Sony didn't buy the Crash Bandicoot IP.
Exactly.
That would have been a great mascot for them.
Exactly. Well, that's why with the PlayStation All-Stars shit,
Yeah.
the whole roster is so convoluted and so, like, retarded.
Oh, don't get me started. Almost, like, 3/4 of them are from the PS3 era.
Exactly.
Like, almost, no, like, there's, like, you have Jak and Daxter, of course. You have Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
You have Parappa the Rapper.
Uh-huh.
But beyond those two, who else do you have?
That's true.
You know, you don't have Crash. You don't have Spyro.
Exactly.
You know, these really awesome Sony IPs. You don't have any of them.
Exactly.
Okay. You know, you don't even have, like, you know who'd be good for PlayStation All-Stars? One, like, the kid from Ico. The kid with the horns.
I never played Ico.
You never play Ico? Okay. You should get that collection for the PS3.
Maybe. But, like, remember you kept telling me about Bioshock. And why is there a fucking Big Daddy?
You know, that's a good quote. Why the fuck is Big Daddy in there? Last time I checked, the game was not released. The PS3 version was released, like, what, almost a year after the PC and 360 version?
Wasn't there a time where people said it wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to come out for the
No,
PlayStation?
Originally, it was designed as a PC exclusive. Then Microsoft came in, you know, and sort of got a timed exclusive deal with them. And for the longest time, who does it? Who does Bioshock? Crap! I'm forgetting who does it. I know it's 2K, but it's like this specific.
2K games.
Yeah, but there's like a team that does it. I forgot the team.
I have no idea.
But anyway,
the guy who does
Irrational
Games.
Irrational Games. You know, they didn't really want to do it on the PS3.
I know.
You know, they kept on like there's not going to be a PS3 version, and eventually there was. So it's like, why the hell is Big Daddy in this game?
Exactly. It wasn't even supposed to be on the system to begin with.
Oh boy.
And that's the thing. I don't when I think, you know, Sony, BioShock is the last fucking thing that comes to mind.
That's a good point.
You see, as I'm saying, it's just like it would be like if Super Smash Brothers, if it only consisted of Rare characters.
Yeah.
And then Rare was bought up by another company, and they still only had Rare characters, but Mario wasn't in it. You know, all the people that actually made a difference weren't even in the game.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it would be like as if Castlevania characters were in there, but not any, no Mario, no Princess Peach, or any of that. That's what's going on with this game, is that it doesn't seem like it's actually PlayStation at all.
It doesn't even look fun. It looks bland.
I know, I've seen some videos
like
of
levels. The levels do not look fun. They don't. They look like... God, they look like fan-made levels from the Super Smash Brothers Brawl level editor.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they look like. They don't look like fun. Like, did you see the Little Big Planet levels?
Yes.
Okay. Now compare that with...
the WarioWare
Or
ones.
the PictoChat one.
Exactly.
Okay? PictoChat, there's constantly stuff happening.
Constant action.
Little Big Planet, it takes like God knows how many seconds for set pieces to actually show up.
Exactly. It's very slow.
It is extremely slow. Of course, you have fanboys. You're not looking at the right videos. You're not looking at the right gameplay videos.
Fanboys are just retarded as shit.
God.
Really annoying.
Well, really, it's kind of a psychological thing. Because their best memories were with that company, so they think that company was their best friend. And it's very stupid.
Yep.
You know,
really stupid.
Any fanboy you can think of, most likely the reason why they're a fanboy is because some of their best, happiest memories was with playing games on that
system. The Sony you know today isn't the Sony you knew back in the PS2 era, guys.
Yeah,
Get
guys,
over with.
Guys, you have to understand something. The Sony you guys grew up with, the Sony that made the PS1 and PS2, they're dead.
Exactly, because they fired or the people left.
Yeah. Same thing with Microsoft. Same thing with Capcom, Konami.
Mm-hmm.
The people who made the games that you loved as a child are gone. The company that made the games that as a child is dead.
Yeah, like Capcom.
Oh, Capcom.
Squaresoft.
Yeah, the Capcom fanboys, they crack me up.
Yep. Now, you were just telling me, now this is our next topic. We're going to talk about PAX.
Oh, PAX.
You just told me before about the most convoluted, retarded collection that ever be created.
The Final Fantasy 25th Anniversary Collection.
Now, please explain that.
For those who have not heard of it, Square announced that in Japan only, there's going to be a 25th Anniversary Final Fantasy Collection box set. It is going to include all 13 Final Fantasies.
What about 13-2?
No, just 13.
10-2?
No, just 10.
Huh.
Yeah. They're not including the sequels to the main games.
Okay.
So, it's just, just the first 13 games. Okay?
Okay.
But the thing is, like you said, it is completely convoluted because in order to play these games, you have to own around 3 different consoles. 3 to 2, actually.
2 or 3.
2 or 3 different consoles. It includes Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 are on PS1 discs.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 3 is on a UMD, which makes no sense to me at all. Because, why not just put it on like a PS2 disc? Or just PS3.
Exactly.
Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, sorry. 4, 5, 6 are on single PS1 discs. Then you have 7, 8, 9, which are on the multiple PS1 discs. Okay. Then you have 10, 11, 12, and then finally 13.
Wow. So this is why it matters if you have 2 or 3 systems.
Yeah.
For one, you can't play a PSP game on your console. So you're going to have a PSP to play one of the games.
Yeah.
Second, if you have a PlayStation 3, original PlayStation 3, then you only need 2 systems. If you have any of the later ones, you need 3 systems because you're going to need a PlayStation 2 to play 10, and you need a PS3 to play, 13.
Yeah.
So this is retarded.
Oh. Why not? What I don't get
It'd be like this. If I decided, you know what, I'm going to release my it could have been more convoluted.
Yeah.
You need to own original NES to play the first 3. You need a Super Nintendo to play certain ones.
It would have been like if Nintendo put out... Remember the Mario 25th Anniversary Collection? It's like as if Nintendo would say, okay, this set's going to include the original cartridges.
Exactly.
It's going to include you, so you have to own an NES. You have to own a Super Nintendo.
Exactly.
You have to own an N64.
It is
not
stupid.
N64.
It is
extremely
really stupid. What I don't understand is why they didn't just emulate it. It can be done. You can emulate a PSP game on a PlayStation 3. A lot of
these games they're not even changed. Graphically, they are exactly the same thing. Yeah. So it's and the set is going to be like 32,000 yen. I think so. It's
convert that to dollars.
I think it's like 350.
Oh God.
Yeah, $350. And it's you know what?
What's the point?
What's the point? I can get all of those games
cheaper
for less.
Exactly.
And not in a fancy box. Oh yeah, and it comes with 2 audio soundtracks. 2-disc audio soundtrack.
That you can probably pirate.
Yeah. And a video and a CD and a DVD of the history.
Which you could probably get that on YouTube later.
Yeah. Or, you know what, just go on Game Trailers and look up the Final Fantasy retrospective. Or hell, go on YouTube and look up Game Makers.
Exactly.
That show was awesome. It's so convoluted.
Exactly.
It's
who was thinking this was a good idea?
Like I said before, it's the original versions. Why not?
There's absolutely no difference between going on eBay right now and buying all those games separately.
Exactly.
There you go. You got your 21st collection.
You know, I can. You know, it's like, you know, if you're gonna make me pay that much money for a collection, at least remake the originals in HD.
Exactly.
When I say HD, I don't mean like, you know, 3D polygons and everything. I mean like, you know, HD sprites.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would have been perfect. Final Fantasy 1 remade in widescreen HD pixels.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would have been great. Same, you know, Final Fantasy 2, 3, 4. That would have been friggin' awesome. 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 7 I think really needs it.
Oh, desperately.
It desperately needs.
Well, they could have, because they just released a new PC port with high resolution.
Oh yeah, they could have ported the PC version.
The new PC version.
The new PC version. You know.
Which, that was a half-ass attempt to just make money.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just a high res. That's all it is. It's not
and
even
then,
a remake.
Let me be perfectly honest about Final Fantasy 7. Even though it's a good game, those pre-rendered backgrounds look like shit.
Yeah.
Okay? It looks like some artist some computer artist just vomited all over the whole thing.
But, you know, for people to understand, they don't understand the resolutions that these games were originally created
Yeah, they
at.
were made in like... Oh, God. What was the resolution size?
Let's just say your DS has a higher resolution than a lot of these games.
Game Boy Advance has a higher resolution.
Yeah, it's the, you know, that's the thing, is that the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, had a very low resolution.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 had a higher resolution. PlayStation 3, that's when they started introducing high-definition resolutions.
Yeah.
But each you know, era, you know, they eventually upped the resolutions, and that's why the games looked a little bit better.
I think what they did with 7, I think they should have just put, done an HD remake, but not in like what the fanboys want, which is they want like a full, like Final Fantasy 7 using the Final Fantasy 13 engine.
Yeah.
They want no.
And I mean, you know what? There's nothing wrong with somebody wanted that.
Yeah,
you know?
but like what I think they should have done was just like, you know, remake it, but using the pre-rendered backgrounds, just in higher resolution pre-rendered backgrounds, or just redraw them. Okay.
Yeah, they could do that.
You know, much more detailed and less blocky characters.
But you know, the one thing I like about remakes, like, remember the Resident Evil remake?
Oh yeah.
I mean, yes, they stayed true for the most part, but then they added a lot more. They changed a lot of stupid shit that people hated.
Oh,
like
yeah.
loading guns, or, you know, combining you know, items together.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of fixed some of those little tidbits that people hate. They could do that also when it comes to Final Fantasy and stuff. It's like with Counter-Strike. When you played the original Counter-Strike,
Yeah.
once you bought the gun, you also had to buy the ammo separately. In Counter-Strike Source, they changed it where when you buy the gun, it comes with the ammo.
Yeah.
So a change like that they change. Or if you have the gun and you win a match, it automatically repurchases new ammo for it. Whereas in the previous ones, you had to buy the ammo again later.
But like,
you know, so that's one of the great things about remakes, is sometimes they change the way some of the functionality of the game plays, so it makes it a little bit less annoying.
and of course they have Final Fantasy 8, which that's a crappy game. Final Fantasy 9's in there.
Which, that's my all-time favorite.
Oh, dude, that game's fucking awesome.
That is the
I
best
love that.
Final Fantasy ever created.
I think that's the best the PS1's. I know a lot of 7 fanboys are going to be freaking out at me for saying that, but
No, I
think
even
9
the creator of Final Fantasy
says
9 is his all-time favorite.
yeah.
So yeah,
And it was
Final Fantasy 7 fanboys, suck my cock. Just gonna
of course,
say
then you have 10, which don't get me started.
I've never played 10.
You don't want to. It's a piece of shit.
Okay.
I don't get why people like it.
Because it's PlayStation 2 graphics.
It's
Wow.
a piece of shit. It's a poorly written piece of shit, folks. Titus is the worst protagonist in any Final Fantasy game I have ever played. He's a whiny little bitch who only cares about himself. I mean, fuck, when his girlfriend is about to fucking die, he cares, what about me? He does that. He whines, what about me? What am I gonna do? Are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
Your girlfriend's about to die and all you give a shit is about yourself?
Yeah.
Fuck you, you Bella Swan asshole.
Yep.
That's what I've said. I said Final Fantasy X is the Twilight of the series.
Wow.
Because that's exactly... He's fucking Bella Swan. And by the way, I do hate Twilight. Fucking piece of shit.
Oh, that's unrelated to video games.
I know, but still. Goddamn, I hate that game.
Yeah,
of course, then you get to 11, which is the MMO, which nobody played.
Well, yeah, well,
12 and then 13, which I have yet
11
to finish.
was released at a very bad time.
Yeah.
That was when Sony decided to give the middle finger to Square by releasing a remodeled PlayStation 2 that doesn't have hard drive capabilities.
What's the point in that?
Exactly. So, yeah, that's definitely,
That's the only way you can play it free.
Exactly.
You couldn't play, like, if you wanted to play it, like, on PC, you had to pay for it.
Yep.
But if you want to play it for free, you had to play the PS2 version.
And if you didn't have an original model PlayStation 2, you were shit out of luck.
Yeah.
So, but, okay, so anything else is, we're going to wrap up that topic. We'll move on to other news with PAX.
Yeah, I think that went way too long.
Yeah, it did, but hey, some good information out of it.
And I got to get something off my chest.
Yeah, a little rant.
Oh, God, Okay, moving on, because I'm going to go on about it again.
Yep.
Anyway, then there's, Konami announced a new Metal Gear Solid game.
They did.
Yes, it is called Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
Zeros?
Yeah.
Is there more than one?
I have no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they didn't finish the previous one that they announced a few years ago.
Oh, Revengeance?
There was another one?
No, that was the name.
Oh, that was the name of it originally.
Yeah, Metal Gear was it Rising or Metal Gear Revengeance? I have no idea.
There was one
They
that
kept on changing the name of it.
I remember the one when they announced that at Microsoft's E3 press conference.
Yeah, that's the same one.
Oh, wow.
Revengeance. That's not even a word.
Exactly.
I love that about Japanese developers. They just make up shit. Like, they just make up words or have the weirdest titles.
Degeneration.
Like, for example, Square is about to release an RPG on the 3DS called Bravely Default Flying Fairy.
What?
I knew you were going to do that. Yeah, it's called Bravely Default Flying Fairy.
Okay, interesting name.
Japan has always had weird names. Japan has always been weird.
Yep.
Don't believe me? Look up Choaniki.
I'll have to look that up.
Oh, you'll have to look that up.
Well, speaking of weird Japanese stuff, I just watched him finish the panty, stocking, and garter belt series. It's pretty cool. You can't say that. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I like the music. It's pretty hot.
But, yeah, I saw the gameplay demo of the new Metal Gear.
Yeah, what does it look like? Does it remind you of 4?
It looks better than 4.
Oh, wow.
Give it that. They have a new engine. It's called the Fox engine.
Ooh.
So, and it looks all right.
You don't seem impressed.
Because I've already seen most of that stuff. Not to sound like a PC fanboy, but I've seen better. It doesn't impress me. This is running on a console.
Exactly.
It doesn't impress me anymore.
We've converted Kevin into a PC fanboy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Ever since I got my gaming rig, I'm like...
And his is not even top of the line.
No.
He's saying it's better. Wow. Yeah. You getting a 660 Ti soon?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely getting that.
That's good.
But, yeah, it looks alright. Actually, it looks kind of like Splinter Cell. Like, remember the old Splinter Cell games before they decided they were all going to go, like, Born Legacy and shit like that?
Yes.
Like, when it was, like, Sam Fisher and he had the goggles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like that. Solid Snake actually has the night vision goggles.
Cool.
So, it...
Do you think this is a sequel to 4?
I don't know. The person looked like Solid Snake, except he wasn't old. So...
I mean, yeah, because remember, for those who have not played 4, which there should be very few of you, they left it at a cliffhanger, where there was an opening for a sequel.
Actually, Kojima did announce Metal Gear Solid 5 a few months ago.
He did?
Yeah.
So. Wow.
Okay. I'm trying to think what else was at PAX.
Well, we'll definitely do another episode on PAX.
Yeah, we got to talk more about PAX.
Because when's PAX over? Is it over already or no?
I think it's going to end in a few days.
All right, so we'll definitely come up with, on our next episode, we'll talk more about PAX.
Oh, yeah, the Wii U is demoed for the first time for the public.
What?
The Wii U, PAX. They demoed, Nintendo was at PAX, and they demoed the Wii U for the first time in public.
Fuck, I missed that.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this.
Wait,
now.
was it PAX or is it PAX Prime? Okay, shit. I think.
So, have you seen that?
I think it was. No, I didn't see it, but all I know is that Nintendo was gonna like demo it at one of because there's like two PAXs.
Uh-huh.
There's PAX and then there's PAX Prime.
But they've already done this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to look up some videos.
I have to.
Definitely, because I have to see this now.
Okay, so.
That's good. No price announcement or anything yet?
No.
There was some, speaking of Wii U, there was a leak that came out finally that specified a little bit more in depth about the hardware. It's going to be using a tri-core processor, PowerPC based. Well, the Xbox 360 was tri-core.
Oh, okay.
But it's, hey, tri-core now is a lot powerful than
it was
then.
Yeah.
It's going to have an AMD 7000 series graphics card. Not 4000.
Are you kidding me?
Not kidding you. It's going to be a 7000. It's going to be Tahiti. Tahiti? Is it Tahiti or Southern Islands? Southern Islands.
It's powerful.
Yeah, the Southern Islands chipset by AMD.
Because that was the one you said. You said 4000.
4000 was the original rumor.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 7000 series, which is the current series that's out.
Holy crap.
That's the direct competitor to the Kepler, 600 series NVIDIA graphics cards. Damn, that's right. It's going to have 1 gig of RAM, which, to remind you guys out there, the Xbox 360 had 512, the PlayStation 3 had 512. However, PlayStation 3, which pissed off developers, is half of its video RAM, half of its system memory.
Oh, yeah, that's
256, 256. One can't share from the other. So the fact that Nintendo's going to have 1 gig of memory, dedicated to gaming, is going to be very interesting.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. Now that I know that it's a 7000.
Oh yeah, I can't wait till this Wii U.
Yeah.
I told you, I'm gonna pre-order it the moment I can. Yeah. I'm gonna click pre-order.
The moment that Amazon says available for pre-order, you're gonna do it.
Oh hell yeah!
And so am I.
Definitely, and we'll definitely do videos and all that stuff.
Unboxings and first playthroughs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll film each other jizzing to the sweet sound of it turning on. Okay.
Kind of like the night we got the Wii.
That sounds very disturbing.
I know.
But
you remember that.
Actually, I remember this. It was
awesome. It's going to be 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been 5 years since
Makes me feel old.
We got the...
It was our first semester in college.
Yeah, both of us got our... This is going to sound naughty. Both of us got our Wiis the same night.
What happened was...
The same day.
Just we'll actually tell the story. Mind you, in 2007, September
9th, actually.
Okay. In September of 2007.
I remember the date.
That's weird. I don't remember mine. But in 2007, September of 2007, the Wii was still hard to get hold of. It was one of those things where you had to know when a shipment was coming in. You had to either bribe the manager of a store to hold it for you, or you had to be in the right place at the right time.
Or you had to work at a GameStop.
Exactly. We were number 3. We were in the right place at the right time, and we bought it by accident. Here's how. We were going to Best Buy to just buy some games for our current systems.
Because at that time I had gotten a $100 gift card to Best Buy. And I had a whole bunch of games in my hand I was going to buy.
Then, all of a sudden, Kevin and I come across a cart in the middle of the store that was completely filled with Wiis. There was like 10 or so of them. And Kevin dropped the games and was like... he was like that. No, he was having an asthma attack to this. And he was jumping for joy in the store with this console in his hand. I decided to grab one anyway because I figured, and then by the time we got back to the cart, they're all gone. So we just came across
lucked out.
Yeah.
That was great.
And then my arm was very sore that night. That sounds very wrong too.
We got in one night we both got our Wiis and our arms were sore. That does not sound right.
Does not sound right at all.
Why did Nintendo choose Wii in the first place?
Man, my right arm was just... when you're bowling, man. Or pitching.
When you're waggling the Wii.
Oh, God.
All night your arm's going to hurt.
So it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait till that thing comes out. But
it's going to be friggin' awesome.
It is. But now we're going to move on to something that's PC only. And this is something that, for those...
It's politically correct?
Oh! this is one that when I saw the news, I almost had a heart attack.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, this is something that I've been anticipating since 2007.
5.
Me, 2007.
Oh, you 2007. Okay.
That's when I first saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You too, because I showed you it. I'm a big fan of Half-Life.
Yeah.
And Half-Life 2 came out in 2004.
You actually introduced me to Half-Life.
Yes, I did.
I had never played it, and then you let me play on your Steam account.
Mm-hmm.
And
you fell in love with it.
I fell in love with it, so.
All right. Now, you can mod games. And there's this one mod that was really made me almost blow my load in my pants when I first saw it. And that was Black Mesa Source. Black Mesa Source never, ever said when they would have a release date.
Let's explain what Black Mesa Source is. Black Mesa is a remake, a Source remake of Half-Life 1.
But completely done by a modding community.
It's not like the half-assed Half-Life Source.
Yeah, which is
that
stupid.
Valve put out.
There was absolutely no point to it.
All they did was they convert the game into the Source engine, and that was it.
Yeah.
There
was no better textures or anything.
And really, the reason why is because a lot of people, when Counter-Strike Source came out, a lot of people were like, are they going to do the same thing with the first Half-Life?
Yeah.
And that never happened. And so a modding community came together, and they decided to remake the first Half-Life using the Source engine.
Exactly, and using all the textures that were available to that. Yeah. They were not going to do the sloppy, stupid shit.
Yeah. And immediately it got attention from the gaming press.
Exactly. And now, mind you, it was going to be a full remake of the story as well as the multiplayer aspect. Yes.
Oh, shit.
I thought I remember telling you that because we used to play. We used to have in high school. I managed to get us a little underground gaming club that was never official. No one knew about it, and we locked them down so no one could ever know.
Here's a little backstory: the school wouldn't allow us to have a video game club because to them it wasn't educational.
Of course.
Yet a breakdancing club was fine.
Okay, so we were very good friends with the computer lab guy, and he let us do it if we installed a program called Lockfolder, so we were able to hide the directories of the games installed. So during the day, students couldn't see it because it wasn't there. But awesome. We knew the secret password that would unlock this and would allow us at the end of the school day to play games.
And so during
lunch too, we would do LAN parties. So we'd do Counter-Strike Source, Halo. We did what was it?
Quake 3.
Quake 3. We also did what was it?
StarCraft.
What was the one that was the brain bread? Brain bread.
Brain bread.
Yeah, that was one of those mods where it was just like a zombie mod.
It was kind of the precursor to Left 4 Dead.
In a way. I mean, it was this whole thing where you had to stand ground and just keep on shooting onslaught of waves. It was awesome.
Actually, you can still download it.
Yeah, I know.
We should play it.
Yep. And, so we used to play all these games. And we eventually started playing Half-Life, but we would play the multiplayer part. And my favorite stage was this one where it was like the...
Crossfire?
Crossfire. See, you knew the name of it.
Crossfire was awesome.
It was awesome.
We always played that one.
Because we would all, you would have one, we would end up fighting each other. You would have one guy try to take complete control of the one base. And you hit the button, and then it would drop a nuke.
In the map, there's there's a bunch of buildings on one side. Then there's a helicopter pad.
Yes.
And then at the other end is a bunker.
Yes.
Okay, with 2 turrets.
Yep.
And when you go in the bunker, there's
there's a door. In the middle of the door, there's a door that comes
that opens up. How do you open it up?
It's open at all times.
At all times. Anyway, there's a red button there. When you press the red button, all of a sudden you hear a siren, and that counts down to when a nuke will drop.
So you have to get into the bunker before the door closes, and then everyone who's stuck outside will die.
Yeah. We used to do this all the time.
Oh, this is awesome. And there were secret compartments on the top of the turrets. When you climbed the ladder, there was this, ventilation shaft that you can drop down through. So people would fight each other all the time, and it was so much fun.
It was great.
We would use the turrets to block the ladders so you couldn't even get up there, but...
I remember that.
Yep.
You did that by accident.
Yep, and then we started doing that.
And one of our friends was like, I can't get up.
Boom, boom. Kiss your ass goodbye. but they're remaking all of the multiplayer maps.
Oh shit! I can't wait to play Crossfire.
Oh, same here, man.
Dude,
I'm gonna be playing that for days. But the beauty of this is that, it's been a while. It's been a very long time.
It was announced in 2005, like I said.
Yep.
So it's been 12 years. No, not 12.
12 years. What the hell are you?
Why did it come 12 years? It's 7 years.
7 years.
Why did it say 12? I don't know.
7 years. We finally get the announcement this week.
It's coming out September 14th.
And when I saw that, I was like, I was like the happiest person in the world at that point. It's something that I've always wanted. I've always anticipated. I was always constantly checking their website periodically to see if they ever announce anything, because they never did. They said, we believe in a when it's done approach.
Yeah.
So it sucked that, it's been so long. And, I mean, they've been victim to hacks in the past where someone stole an alpha build. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to do a Let's Play. I'm announcing that now.
Dude. You know what we got to do? You and me have to do a Let's Play of the multiplayer.
Cool, definitely.
We got to do crossfire.
And if we can get like a community thing, if we can get some of the people who listen to the show on there, we'll definitely have you play with us. So.
Oh, remember that one map where it was the room with the snarks?
Actually, Crossfire had snarks.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about like, it would fill up. The entire map would fill up.
That rings a bell.
You would have to, because at the very top there was like a valve or something like that.
Oh, that's right. You could lock people in there, and then all the snarks would come and kill you. That was awesome.
Was oh man, those are good times. Those are really
good times. What do we call it? Steve the Snark. What was the name we gave? We gave a nickname to
Steve the Snark.
I forget. I don't think it was Steve. I forget.
forgot.
Good times.
Oh,
good times.
Hey, remember that one time you got in trouble because you said Intel is the shit?
Yeah, apparently in school you can't curse. I didn't know that. So I said, Intel's the shit.
Because the teacher would write it down.
Every time someone cursed, our teacher had this book and he would write down every time someone would curse. And I thought it was fucking awesome. Oop, I just got written up.
And you said Intel is the shit. Not saying Intel is shit.
I said it is the shit. But it's awesome. So yeah, those are good old days. Good old days.
We should actually do an episode talking about that.
Yeah. Well, we can get the original people who used to be part of the club.
Oh, yes, that's right.
We know who they are, and that we still are in contact with them. One is Andy, and the other one's Mike, which we call him Stifler.
And Silent 13.
Silent 13, yep. So, yep.
And we used to also play Magic the Gathering.
Good times.
Oh, that was fun.
Zombie deck.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember when he had to duplicate a card, but he didn't have the other card, so he just took his cell phone, took a picture of it, and put it right next to it?
Yep.
That was great.
Yep. I throw a clerk at you. We start throwing cards at each other.
And they used to play the unofficial decks. The official, unofficial ones.
Yes.
Knights
of the Hokey Pokey. And then you had this one where he had to start a whole new match underneath the table. And whoever the winner of that gets however many hit points to use on the old game. It was just hysterical stuff. Or the one where every time you touch the card you lose a life. And
then there was the one where this card, we could not come up with a name for this card, so this card is completely nameless, and the entire name goes around
the name wraps around the entire border of it. Yeah, that is hysterical.
That was good stuff.
Yep. So, anything else you want to add?
No.
Anyone out there who likes StarCraft 2, we're gonna, if you guys personal message us, we would like to do a community thing. We're gonna try to start doing this where we can do Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, community games and stuff.
Which I have to buy.
Yes, you have to buy it. Heart of the Swarm is coming out soon. I can't wait. I already pre-ordered the thing, so it'll show up day one.
You know what we could do is we could do a StarCraft 2 live stream.
We could do that. That might be a good idea. So yeah, there's a lot of ideas that will be coming up soon, so definitely subscribe if you have not yet done already. Check out I Am 16-Bit's channel. He has a new unboxing video of
The Last Story.
How's that game so far?
I haven't played it yet.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm going to wait until I'm done with the Xenoblade Chronicles.
How's that?
Really good. It's really good.
I didn't like the voice actors.
Yeah, the voice acting was... It wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
If you really, to be perfectly honest, the best British voice acting in a video game is Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King. Because they're actually entertaining. Not entertaining, they're actually like...
These guys were monotone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of sucked.
But the gameplay is actually really good because it's like a cross between an MMO gameplay within a single-player RPG. And it works very well. It's kind of like if you took... It's kind of like Final Fantasy XIII's gameplay, but even better.
Cool.
Like, if it was even better than Final Fantasy XIII's gameplay. Which,
cool.
I didn't care for the battle system, the paradigm system, but the
Paradigm system wasn't that bad.
But I liked the ATB system. I liked how they did that. Where you can have attack, then special move, then attack.
Yeah.
That I liked.
Definitely good.
Alright,
anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, guys, take care. Look out for future episodes. Please do subscribe, comment, rate, yell at each other, have a flame war. It's all good. If you guys want to be on the show, definitely drop me a personal message, and we'll try to make it happen.
Yeah.
Take care.
Have a nice day.